Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Google. These brands define the modern American economy, yet behind their rivalry lies a single, quiet connective tissue. This entity sits as one of the largest shareholders for almost all of them simultaneously. The company is BlackRock. While it rarely makes headlines, its position as a dominant force in global finance is a matter of documented record. Today, BlackRock manages over $10 trillion. To put that in perspective, this single firm oversees more capital than the entire annual economic output of Japan, Germany, or the United Kingdom. Yet BlackRock produces no consumer goods. There is no BlackRock smartphone, no software platform, and no fleet of electric cars. This firm transformed the background of the financial system into a position of power that rivals nation-states, amassing influence over the global economy while remaining virtually invisible to the public. In 1988, a Wall Street executive named Larry Fink lost nearly $100 million on a series of disastrous trades. For most, a loss that size marks the end of a career in finance. Instead, the failure sparked an obsession. Fink became convinced that the traditional methods of predicting financial disaster were broken, and he set out to build a firm centered on mathematical risk management. His new company, BlackRock, ignored the high-stakes gambling of the era to focus on the quiet, methodical business of managing assets for large institutions. By prioritizing the systematic mapping of risk over immediate speculative profits, BlackRock built a foundation of control that the rest of Wall Street eventually came to rely on. The growth of this influence accelerated with the rise of index funds and ETFs. Millions of ordinary workers funnel their retirement savings into these funds because they are cheap, diversified, and managed automatically. While everyday investors own the money in these pools, modern finance separates capital from control. By managing these trillions, BlackRock absorbs shareholder voting rights, granting executives proxy power over boards of thousands of corporations. This aggregation of passive capital gives BlackRock a decisive seat at the table in tech, banking, and energy. When a firm controls the voting bloc, corporate leadership pays attention. This mechanical shift transformed BlackRock from a mere manager of wealth into a primary force in corporate governance. During the 2008 financial crisis, the traditional banking system froze. Markets plummeted, and the complexity of toxic assets threatened to collapse the global economy. The U.S. government lacked the internal technology to map the damage or understand the scope of the exposure. Regulators turned to BlackRock to analyze the mess, effectively placing a private firm at the center of the systemic rescue. They were able to do this because of Aladdin, a proprietary risk management platform that Fink had spent decades refining. This network serves as an intelligence hub, processing real-time market data for global banks, investment firms, and central governments. Today, BlackRock controls the data architecture that the entire financial system relies on to function. For some, BlackRock is a stabilizing force that protects the pensions of millions. For others, it represents a concentration of power without historical parallel. Regardless of perspective, when an institution controlling $10 trillion expresses a priority, corporate executives have little choice but to follow that lead. This influence didn't arrive through a single election or a viral product. It spread quietly through the mechanics of retirement accounts and risk data. But even BlackRock is only part of a larger, even more integrated structure. Alongside Vanguard and State Street, BlackRock forms a financial oligopoly that manages a vast majority of the world's tradable assets. The true seat of power in the modern economy is found within the infrastructure of the system itself. Subscribe and join us for the next episode, where we explore how the next giant, Vanguard, secured its position at the top.